now that I've been to Buttonwillow, like, I'm like I must go every weekend. It's like addicting.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're here with Mike, Boss. What does that mean, Boss?
Well, my girlfriend's nickname when she was growing up was Boss with her girlfriends, and then in film school, my nickname was Boss too. And then both my parents call each other Boss.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's funny. It was like it was almost fate that my girlfriend and I met. And
meant to be, yeah.
Yeah, and like I started tracking seriously, and then she wanted to get into it. So I was like, why don't we just like make a fun little brand? And it kind of blossomed.
That's awesome. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about how you got into cars and then how you got into tracking.
Sure. I was into cars when I was a teenager. Just like a lot of people, I was into Initial D, and I was obsessing over like video option and like hot version. And that's all I would do. Like on my summer break, I just like watch hours on hours. Like, so I've always been into cars, but obviously as a teenager, you have no money. So I couldn't really do anything. I started autocrossing when I got my first sports car, which was a 240Z. I got it for a good deal though, but it was a terrible track car. There was like a Chevy 350 in it. And
wow.
Yeah, on stock suspension. So going through cones, you can see the photos, it's like leaning hard. So I kind of put that to rest. I was like, okay, this isn't a proper track car.
Well, I mean, you could probably make it a good track car, but it's just a lot of money, right?
Yeah, I was broke, so I couldn't really fix it. So, I kind of stopped for a few years. And then when I had enough money, I got an STI, a 2015. And I kept that pretty stock. I didn't really do many track days. I did like maybe one track day a year when I had it. And I think maybe in 2018, I decided to like take it seriously again because I actually had the funds to do so. So started to track the STI a little bit more, traded in the STI for an Audi S3. And I started autocrossing that. And at one of the autocrosses, my girlfriend and I, we saw a silver Supra. And we were like, that's kind of hot. And the guy was going so fast, and he was completely stock. So I was like, you know what? If I got a Supra, would you co-drive it with me? And she was like, yeah, sure. So we got the Supra, and I went like 2 feet in with tracking. Like I go a lot now. And I kind of consider myself getting only serious in April of last year, 2022. So I didn't really have much seat time before then. So it kind of all started last year.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Was the 240Z your first car?
It was not. I had a 95 Nissan Pathfinder as my first car, but that's not a performance car. But the 240Z was my first like performance car.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Those things, they were worth a lot of money now.
I know.
Yeah,
I got it for pretty cheap, and it was in good condition. Now it's gutted.
Yeah.
It's with my friends.
Oh, you still have it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
This is my friends at P2 Fabrication, and they're finishing up the roll cage, and that's going to be like my full-on track car.
Wow. Okay. Can you share some plans? What are you gonna do? What engine?
Yeah.
What?
I'm excited for it.
Okay.
It's going to be a boosted K24.
Nice.
Yeah. Then we have a full. There's a company called Apex Engineered that made a full like subframe for it, and it has like a rear like cantilever suspension.
Nice.
It's so crazy, and the guys at P2 are insane.
Okay.
They make race cars for a living. So it's gonna be nuts.
Oh, great. Well, I can't wait to see it, and then we're gonna have to come back out to shoot.
I know. I hope I can drive it when it's done, because it seems like it's gonna be kind of scary.
Yeah,
and I need a lot more seat
car
time.
Too. Yeah. Well, you have a light car here too.
I know.
We'll get into that. Do you have a dream car?
A dream car? Well, my dream car was the 240Z.
Okay.
So if I had to pick another one, I mean, I've always wanted a GTR.
GTR?
Yeah.
Okay. What generation?
An R34.
Oh,
it has to be an R34. Yeah. Because I think I don't know, when I started getting into cars, like that was the car.
Oh, yeah.
I remember having a picture of one on my wall, and just like looking at it every day. I'm like, oh, if only.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that would be my dream car.
Cool. Do you have a favorite track, and what's the reason for it?
My favorite track is probably Chuckwalla.
Okay.
It flows so well. They maintain it so well, and I think going to the track all the time, it's like pretty taxing. You wake up like at 4 a.m. Sometimes you have to drive super far. Chuckwalla is like, they have cabins. You can camp out there. You can camp out in other places too, but the cabins and like the parties that you might have afterwards is so fun. Like you get a sense of community, but the track itself flows so well. And I feel like you can tap into your flow state like super fast, and it's pretty beginner friendly. So that might be my favorite, but my I think close second now might be Buttonwillow.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah. You haven't been to Buttonwillow too many times.
Yeah.
And it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
We're not trying to tell everyone we're the fastest driver or
Yeah.
anything. So it's good to see that you're making great progress elsewhere as well as Chuckwalla.
Yeah. I've spent a lot of time at Chuck. I spent a lot of time at streets. I'd say those, when I first started, I was like, okay, I need to focus on like only a few tracks because I didn't want to get too confused. So it was streets at first, and then I got pretty proficient at streets, and I'm still trying to get that sub 120. I'm like right there, and it's really frustrating. But it's that and Chuck that I'm like really zoned in on. But now that I've been to Buttonwillow, like I must go every weekend. It's like addicting.
All right, Mike. What year is your Supra, and I guess what option or what package is it?
This is a 2020 GR Supra. I think it was a premium.
Okay.
I got this off of Carvana.
Oh, nice.
So I knew that I wanted a Supra. I knew that I wanted to get it tuned. So it had to be 2020 because the 2021s were like locked.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They have locked ECU, or I think is it June 2021 and like later or something? I might get roasted for that. I don't know if it's like that, but one of the 2021s has a locked ECU.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you can't tune those.
No.
Okay.
I think you could only do like boot mod or like some other tunes, but you
see.
can't do EcuTech on it.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you immediately track it?
Yeah. The first thing I did was I got the car, I changed the brake fluid. I didn't do what a lot of people do and just like go on the stock tires. I was like, I need stickies. So I went with the AO52s to start, and I got the Titan 7s. So it was just that. And we started, and it was awesome. It is such a powerful car. I feel like if you're getting into tracking and you want like something that's like a little bit more luxurious and is like fast and looks crazy, I don't know. I think
This is the car to
the
get.
king. I think this is the one, because there are other cars out there that achieve the same thing as the Supra. But I feel like when you're out on the street, like everyone like snaps necks all the time. They're just like, wow, what is that? Because we haven't really had a car that looks like this in a long time.
Right.
I give big props to Toyota for taking the initiative and making something that looks just like super quick, just standing still.
Yes, agree. How much power are you making, and what's the weight?
So power, I just got tuned by Zach at CSG recently.
yeah.
And we tuned on the dyno, and he gave me 3 maps. My map 2 was my lapping map, and that's about like 440 wheel. And then he gave me a kill map for my 1 fast lap, and that's about like 500 wheel.
I see.
But yeah, that one's nuts. It kicks the car out really quick. But with me in it, it's about 3,400 pounds.
Okay.
It's got like full interior plus the RSR roll bar, so
Yeah.
it's heavy.
How much do they make stock at the wheel?
The 20, I think, made 330 to the wheel.
330.
Yeah, it was kind of a cool thing. I remember when these first came out, people started putting it on the dyno because Toyota advertises it as like, I think 330, or for, at least for the 2020, and everyone thought that was crank, but it was wheel. So this is fast from factory. And just as like a simple tune and a downpipe, it's like 100 horsepower.
That's
Like
insane.
that.
The same turbo, same everything, right?
Yeah.
Same injectors.
Yeah, I've got everything is stock minus the downpipe, my intake, and flex fuel tune.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so stock turbo and everything, and it gets you to 450 reliably. Like the dyno graph is nuts from like 4,500 RPM to redline. It's 450 wheel just.
And that's E85, right?
No, it can't. The fueling system can't take E85 like stock. So max is about E50, which is what I run on the track. So it's a blend.
E50, okay.
Yeah.
So do you just go to the gas station, buy some E85 and mix it?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Chassis-wise, what do you have? Coilovers, brakes.
Right now it's running CKS one-way coilovers,
Okay.
which have been great. I'm working with S3 suspension on their Supra kit this year, which is kind of fun because like all the Honda guys run S3, and now a funny, like really heavy Toyota BMW is gonna run S3.
Yeah.
But yeah, running CKS right now, which have been great. Swift springs. We got CSG pads, C21 front, C11 rear, and I only have like half of the SPL suspension parts in the car right now.
I see.
What else? I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty like as crazy as it looks. It's still pretty mild.
Basically,
with
yeah.
what I have.
Stock rotors.
Stock rotors, and you could see it's cracking already. I actually am working with a company called Signature Works this year, and they are providing me with like a 6-piston Brembo kit in the front and then 4 in the rear. They take
Nice.
the Brembos from the ZL1 Camaro, and they retrofit
Interesting.
into here, so they're massive.
Nice.
Nice. With huge rotors as well. So we'll be testing that this year.
And it looks like you're now running CRS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How do you like those?
I love the CRS. I love the Nankangs. I ran it when I used to have my STI, and then I ran it when I got my Audi S3, and then I run it here, and they're just an amazing lapping tire. These have 7 track days on them,
Wow.
and they're pretty pretty worn, but it's 7 track days and daily driving.
Wow. And they're pretty consistent, right?
They're super
what I hear.
consistent. Yeah.
That's awesome. And how do these compare to the CR1?
I think they're the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a name change.
I see. Yeah, I never had a chance to run it, but I would love to try it out.
Oh, you should.
Yeah.
They're amazing. They're consistent. They're grippy. They don't need a ton of time to warm up. I really like it. This one's a 275/40/18, and when I ran AO52s, I ran a 295/35/18. So this has a Meteor sidewall, which I think actually suits the Supra pretty well.
Yeah.
Because the Supra is very tail happy, so giving it a little bit more forgiveness and
Right.
the roll is kind of nice.
Yeah, I noticed that on my car as well. The thicker sidewall definitely helps with corner exits.
Yeah.
Right? And also braking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. What have you done in exterior?
So I have a Sabre Designs front lip
Nice.
and the Sabre Designs fender louvers, which are really cool.
Yeah, they look pretty cool. Yeah.
They help all that nasty air in the wheel well come out. I also have track spec hood vents, which are really, really helpful with getting the heat out. There's a photo that Cali Photo took at Button Willow where you could see the heat just
Nice.
emanating from there. And these engine bays get so hot,
Yeah.
especially turbo
Turbo
cars.
cars, yeah.
and this at at a stoplight, not even driving crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I could just see the heat just coming out. It's like really funny. Right now, as it stands, yeah, I don't even have all the aero on. I have like my Saber Design splitter out there, which like comes out a ton. And I used to run Canards, but because I ran NDF Attack Challenge, I had to take out all the aero to stay in the certain class that I was in.
Got it. Did you print this yourself?
I did.
Wow, that's so
did.
cool.
I noticed on a lot of the Time Attack cars that they have gurney flaps in front of their vents.
Right.
And at first I was like, okay, like I'm just gonna buy the Track Spec Motorsport one. But that one was made of rubber and it just didn't kind of fit the look of the car. So I decided to take on a pretty fun challenge of just like designing in CAD and just making one. And it works pretty well.
I would assume, yeah.
I did a test where I put one on and I took one off and I did like the yarn test. And it works really well.
Nice.
Yeah.
And did you have to cut the hood for?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to pop
so
the
you're
hood?
committed now.
Yeah. I was cutting the hood here, and a few of my neighbors walked by. They're like, "What are you doing? Didn't you just buy this car?" I was like, yeah.
That's commitment. It looks good though.
I was
looks great.
scared. I've never cut a hood before. And of course, the rocks in the hood. I just have that's a feature. It's the Maraca mode.
Yeah, very cool.
These hoods are pretty easy to cut. They're all aluminum.
Aluminum, right? Yeah, pretty light. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, the engine bay is pretty stock. Just the intake, downpipe. Can't even see the flex fuel. Little sensor over there.
Cool.
And when everybody sees this on the track, they always assume like this was like a crazy build. It's like it's not much to it, really.
Just simple stuff. And was anything added on the exterior, on the side and the back, or is it just wrap? Okay.
Yeah, it's just a wrap.
Cool.
See, like I have the AMS wind buffeting mirror things because if you've ever driven a stock one on the highway, it's wild. It'll blow your ears out.
Really?
The buffeting's horrible, and these help.
Cool. Very cool. Did you do the design work on the logo and the? It's cool. I'm assuming you have. This is your hobby as well, like design stuff.
Kind of. I've always been into it. My girlfriend Hannah is a UX designer, and she dabbles in graphic design as well.
Yeah.
And it's funny. We had this brand Boss Boss for a while. We did a little food blog called like Boss Boss Eat, and then we started making like patches for film sets called Boss and Boss. And this is like the other iteration of it. So I wanted to take our logo, which was just Boss Boss, and turn it into something racy. So it's like a flag. So this is it's like
Very
flip
cool.
livery. So on the other side,
Yeah.
it's like that's actually how it looks like.
Love it.
So it's a little flag.
Love it. Man, these cars are just like they don't need much to make it look
I know.
like a race car.
I know, right? Because you'd think like, oh, this is a super aggressive diffuser.
Yeah.
That's OEM. It's got like little funny F1 tail, like reverse light.
Is that aftermarket? That's OEM?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
The reverse light.
Of course, parking sensor and all the amenities too. Right?
I know.
Yeah, that's nice. Let's see the inside.
Sure.
Cool. Simple.
Pretty simple. I'm gonna change out the passenger seat soon. It just wasn't on the top of the priority list. But I'm running a Sabelt Titan seat and Sabelt harnesses. This is their silver Enduro.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great. Sabelt has been pretty kind with helping me out this season and last season.
Very cool.
A lot of people don't really run their stuff in like kind of the grassroots motorsport because they're like top tier.
In Europe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Professional motorsport, they're
Right.
everywhere.
F1.
Yeah, but I think, they want people to know that, they're still here. Their stuff's affordable and really, really good. Like this seat is the best fitting seat to my body style, which is kind of weird because I'm not like an odd shape or anything. I'm pretty like a regular, like 5'8", and some of the other seats I felt I was a little too small or too big. This one hugs me perfect.
Nice. And the roll bar, who?
Studio RSR
Okay.
roll bar. Yeah, they make a really good one for the Supra. This is their V1
Okay.
roll bar.
Does the trunk open?
Yes.
I think it might be easier to get it from the back.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is their
nice.
V1 roll bar, and they have two versions. The V2 is to clear the stock seats,
Oh,
and the
okay.
V1 is specifically made for bucket seats.
Gotcha.
But it's terrible if you have stock seats. If anybody sits in my passenger seat, they're pushed all the way up.
Oh, yeah, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have tiny little like 3D printed mounts for when I mount up my camera for
that's cool.
the in-car footage.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's all there. I haven't gutted a single thing. The speakers are still there.
Those are pretty big speakers, huh?
It's not bad. Yeah, they're pretty big, but the sound in the car is like
Not so good.
it's not so good.
Let me open this one too. All the dust from Button Willow, right?
Thankfully, I didn't go off at Buttonwillow, but I did go off several times at Streets and Chuck. So that'll get everywhere.
Yeah. Is this for Catalyst?
Yeah, I actually 3D printed a bracket that uses a Pro Clip mount, so that when I put the catalyst in, it's like pointed directly at me.
That's cool. And same thing with the cell phone mount
Yeah,
too?
yeah, that's also a Pro Clip mount. Yeah, because there's nowhere to put anything in this car. I remember when I first got this car, I was like, wait, where do I put my phone?
It's pretty clever. HKS, huh?
HKS dual muffler.
Okay.
I wanted something that still used the valving system. The
Oh,
valves.
does it have it?
Yeah.
Nice. So how does that work?
So if you put it in sport mode, both valves open, so you get both mufflers. And when you're in comfort mode, it closes one of them.
Nice.
I take it out of sport mode, and it's like so quiet.
Nice.
Yeah. The only time it's not quiet is when I start it because of the cold start. But the car has like two personalities. Because of the transmission, the ZF8, it's like so nice on the highway. If you put it in comfort, you can't even feel the shifts. It's so smooth. And then it's so quiet too in comfort mode. But then you put it in sport, it's just like rowdy.
I didn't notice it, but even this is Boss.
Yeah. You have to go full commitment
Yeah.
with the branding.
Boss Racing. Any future goals with this car?
Yeah, lots of. I think 2023 is going to be pretty big. Right now we're going to get an RS Future wing and probably run his full aero package. I definitely want to go up on power, but I also want to kind of reel myself back in because like I still need a lot of seat time. And I think the worst thing you can do is throw a lot of power in the car, but not enough development in the driver. So I'm probably gonna wait until I could turn some really impressive laps with just the car's power as it stands now, because it's a lot. I have two S2000 drivers like beating me by seconds in a stock, like 200 horsepower S2000. So I think definitely, I want to I want to break sub 55 at Buttonwillow this year. I want to go sub 20 at Streets this year, and get close to 150 at Chuck this year. I think everything that I want to do is mostly lap times, because time attack is so fun, and that's kind of what I want to do with this car. This is what this car was made for. But I think for this year, I just want to work on myself as a driver, because, I did the opposite what you're supposed to do. I hopped in a really capable, really fast car, and now I'm catching up with it. And I think I developed a lot of bad habits along the way, which is kind of why we picked up the EG, because all those bad habits will show themselves when I drive that. So a lot more seat time, I think. That's my main goal.
Very humble comment.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't want to be driving a car that looks this cool and not be able to wheel it to its maximum potential. I think being able to drive any car fast, I think that's the coolest trait anyone can have.
Yes, yes.
Cool.
So this is mainly your girlfriend's car, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That you're gonna try to steal sometime.
Yeah, you know how it goes. You get your significant other a car, but it's secretly it's also yours.
Yes.
But this is hers. I'm gonna let her do whatever she wants to it. I want her to learn on it.
That's
because
awesome.
When I started driving, she started driving the Supra as well.
Nice.
And she was into it. But as the Supra started to progress, it became a little too crazy. The seat position wasn't proper for her. The power went up too quick. So she didn't really have a car that she could drive confidently. And she wanted to drive her Corolla hatchback, but that was like automatic. We picked up an EG because at the recent VTEC Club event, my good friend Dwayne took me in his stock Civic Coupe, his EK, and he was drifting every corner.
The one that jumps too, right?
The one that jumps, yeah. You could put up the picture of him jumping the slide at Chuck. But it like rearranged my DNA. And like that day, I was like Hondas are the way, Civics are the way. So he helped us. He was like furiously finding like every OfferUp ad. And for months, we were searching, and there was one week, a few weeks ago, where every day we had one that we were gonna see. Like literally after work, like, okay, we're gonna go see it. And they all just dropped out from underneath us. They would sell it from underneath us. And these were like bad EKs and EGs we were about to buy. And then he realized, he's like, oh, my buddy is selling his EG. They're trying to offload it. And it was this one.
Nice.
And this comes from this guy, Alex Cow, and his girlfriend, Hannah, which is crazy because my girlfriend's name is Hannah. So Hannah's going to drive Hannah's car. But this thing was set up for N2 at VTEC Club.
Okay.
So it's got a B18B non-VTEC motor. It's got the whole thing. It's got coilovers. It's like a GSR swap. So it's got everything. And as a first track car, this might be a little much for Hannah, but I think she's gonna grow into it, and it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see her drive this, because when we drove it back from Dwayne's shop, this was like, it was so fun. I was going 40 miles an hour at like 7,000 RPM. And now I felt like I was like flying. Like the Supra is not this fast. I was going so slow. I think
Makes all the noise though.
it makes all the noise. It's so noisy. The rear is gutted. It's got I think it's got an Apexi exhaust, so it's so loud inside. But I love it so much. There's something about these.
Yeah, for sure.
And when I said like earlier, like I think it's cooler to, like for any driver to be able to drive any car fast. I think this kind of like is that statement personified.
Right.
If you go and turn laps in this and put down really fast laps, you could do anything in any car.
Yeah.
This is like the standard. So,
Well, this and the Porsche probably, but
right.
yeah, the rear engine version of.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of respect for the guys that are doing sub 2 in Civics.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
a lot of respect.
Because I showed Hannah, my girlfriend Hannah, a picture of Amir's girlfriend Mui going sub 2 in her EK.
Yes.
And Hannah was like, "That is so badass. I want to do that." So I think she has a car that could do it. Definitely. She just has to work this year towards driver development for sure.
How much does this car weigh, or do you know how?
I have
you
no
measured
idea.
it?
It's like so new to us that we still have to kind of tear into it and make it our own.
Super clean.
Check that out though. It's a VTEC Club Greddy steering wheel.
Oh, nice.
They didn't make many of those.
So it's like limited. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
27 out of 50.
Uh-huh.
Shout outs to VTech Club.
Oh yeah. Those guys are awesome. Yeah, this car is so clean inside.
It is clean.
EKs and EGs have been resprayed
Yeah.
and bondoed like crazy. This is an honest car.
Yeah.
It shows its age and it's not afraid of it. But that being said, I can't wait to fix this up and make it pristine.
Spend some money on it, right?
Yeah.
Can we see the engine real quick?
Yeah.
I like the shifter too. Hybrid racing.
Hybrid racing, yeah. Everybody runs it. It's so nice.
Yeah.
The hybrid racing. I also don't want to like it's. I don't want to pretend like I know everything that's in here because I'm definitely not a Honda boy and this is new to me. And Dwayne just found us like the craziest EG to get.
Nice.
But what I do know is that a B18B non-VTEC.
So LS engine.
It's got headers. It's pretty much everything has been done to it. It's pretty clean.
It is. Looks like you still have AC.
Yeah, AC and power steering,
Oh, and power steering.
which is wild,
It-
right?
it
That's pretty
is.
weird.
It's nice to have power steering on this car though.
Yeah, because like I said, we were about to get a bunch of bad ones for the same price that we got this one, and none of those had AC or power steering, or it was one or the other. It had like AC, no power steering, but this has it all.
Good.
And yeah, power steering is nice. What I'm excited about this one is, they drove it hard and they drove it well, and I just want to continue that for them. The previous owners. You could tell that they put a lot of love into this,
Yes,
and
yes.
they made this for the track. So I think our duty now as like the second owners is we have to kind of continue that and treat it well.
I think this hood alone is worth a lot of money right now. So
I've been told.
yeah, you probably got a really good deal
Yeah.
for sure.
I just love the way this thing looks too. It's so funny. It's so cute.
I know at least 3 people looking for EGs right now.
Yeah. To them, I say I'm sorry. I got the best one.
Do you know what kind of transmission is in it? Or do you know if it has LSD or not?
I don't think there's an LSD
Okay.
in here. Yeah. I know it's a B16 trans. Yeah. I have a whole list of stuff. Dwayne just it was crazy. Dwayne texted me at I think at night, and he was like, I found one. And he sent me the list. I was like, just do it. Just get it.
What a good friend.
I know. Dwayne is awesome.
Yes, what does sub 2 mean to you?
What does sub 2 mean to me? I think it's a good benchmark of your progression, because everyone starts somewhere, and as long as you have a goal that you're going to reach, you can kind of work towards that. And I think having something like Sub 2, a Sub 2 Club, and seeing what everyone else is doing and trying to reach for that, I think that gives you a great goal. And I think to be sub 2 means that you're doing something right, and that you're putting in the seat time, you're putting in the effort.
Right.
And I think that's huge. I think everyone should strive for something like that.
Yes, yes. Final question is, what things about life do you learn through cars?
I think what you learn through cars is just patience, and you can't rush things. And it's so cliche to say like trust the process, but it's like you kind of have to. You can't just expect like, okay, I'm gonna show up and just dominate, and I'm gonna show up with a car that's so sick, everyone's gonna love it. It's not true. You have to build yourself up, and that's just how life goes. Take it one day at a time, and make sure that you don't go way too crazy, because they'll bite you in the ass for sure. So yeah, I guess just stay humble and just keep doing you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. We'll see you at the next one.